What about it, Austin? It's me, Austin! Oh, son of a bitch!
These videos are not for children. If you are a children, then piss off.
Hey there, I'm Infuso, and today I thought I'd take a look back and highlight one of my favorite, and many people's least favorite, storyline angles. The Imposter. I've spoke before on this channel about imposter gimmicks and how they almost never work out for the simple fact that there's never really a payoff planned ahead of time. And this is not one of those cases, surprisingly. This is an imposter gimmick that sucked because it sucked. Let me start off by saying I hated the May 19th angle, even when I was a kid. The constant name dropping of the release date of the first See No Evil movie being used in a storyline was truly the ultimate cheap plug.
May 19th. May 19th. There. May 19th.
The WWE made a whole storyline dedicated to try and get Mayor Glenn Jacobs over as a horror movie icon. Hell, at one point in time, they even let him walk to the ring with his movie props. Kane started suffering from headaches backstage and grew increasingly paranoid about the upcoming release date for his first movie, which normally is normal. A little post-stage anxiety, I guess. Yeah, sure. But Kane wasn't worried about how well his movie was gonna do. Not so well. By the way, not so well. Oh no. It was the date itself that really triggered the big red machine. So much as mentioning the date at all would send him into a fit and would even cause him to attack those who were close to him. He ranted and raved about the date until finally on May 22nd, his old mask seemed to appear on the Titantron and a voice, which sounded like Kane, threatened him that this was only the beginning and that this would never end. Which is kind of ironic considering how quickly this angle actually did begin and end. The next Monday night, Kane was granted an opportunity at the Intercontinental Championship, taking on its champion, Shelton Benjamin, when suddenly he was met by a blast from the past.
That's gotta be Kane! That's gotta be Kane!
Walking down the aisle was 1998, coming to confront 2006. The spitting image of the big red monster from years past walked out to confront the present-day demon, and I, as a kid, was hyped. Mojo Rawley hyped. For years, fans had begged for a return to the mask. And now, here it was. Kind of. The imposter wasn't just Kane in appearance, but in mannerisms as well. And truth be told, he was pretty convincing. What wasn't convincing was that lion's mane that he wore on his head in his first appearance. That was kind of hard to look at. I like to believe that that's really what has Kane so bugged out here. He's just thinking, oh my god, he looks horrible! Kane's really just concerned about his own image right now. Kane stood trembling in fear and confusion at the sight of his former self. And Kane, look, relax, man, it's fine. No one looks the same as they did 8 years ago. It's alright, bud. The imposter laid the real deal out and set the turnbuckles ablaze before taking his leave. The most impactful part of his debut not being the chokeslam, but instead being that furry mop he wore on his head. Imposter Kane continued to play mind games with his predecessor, until it was finally decided that the two Kanes would go head-to-head at Vengeance 2006.
KO! And the spine to the spine and... What the hell? Oh my god, look out! Kane! I've got this! There's a... The hell is crazy enough? That both man with those hands around their throats. Oh my god! Off the top! Kane knocked all the way!
Kane was interviewed by JR where he admitted he knew who was behind the mask, but refused to say who it was, seeming a lot more fidgety than the Kane that we were used to.
I know exactly who this person is, and I know why he's doing what he's doing. He was even more screwed up than me, someone that even I thought was demented.
Are you afraid of this man?
You don't know this guy.
I mean, this is the devil's favorite demon, not Showtime Eric Young. It was so weird sitting through a Kane versus Kane match. I mean, this was a match I'm pretty sure I attempted on my WWE games in the past as a kid, but now somehow this was actually happening. I was an excellent fantasy booker, and I'm still holding out hope for that Dude Love versus Mankind versus Cactus Jack triple threat match I've always envisioned. It's gonna happen. The match itself wasn't bad, but I wouldn't exactly say it was a 5-star classic either. Should have been in the Tokyo Dome. Ultimately, Replica Kane ended up winning in a pretty dominant display. Though it looked like things were just heating up between the two fire-obsessed big men, the angle quickly simmered down. Despite getting the victory, the next night on Raw, Kane manhandled the cosplayer before actually unmasking him and throwing him out of the arena, thus bringing the story to a really unfortunate close. Never revealing the face of the duplicate, never sharing his identity, just throwing him out of the arena. You know, in my own headcanon, I like to imagine that wherever they were for that episode of Raw, that the outside was basically that scene from Beetlejuice. I mean, that's the only explanation. And I know that this was a bad angle, and the sooner it ended, the better for everyone, but come on, at least finish the damn story. This is the White Hummer all over again. Now it's time for the rumor mill, and this has been a pretty strong one for years. I don't know if it's ever been confirmed or debunked, but rumor has it that Glenn Jacobs was actually ready to retire. But the odd decision was made to keep the Kane character going in his absence. So Imposter Kane was actually going to be revealed to be the real Kane. And the real Kane was actually going to be revealed to be an imposter. Someone who stole the man's gimmick and kept him captive all these years. Which is insane. It would have been interesting to see this angle fully play out, but ultimately, it's probably for the best that it didn't. Otherwise, we would have gotten Team Hell No. Something to think about there. Oh, and don't fret for young Imposter Kane here, because he did pretty well for himself in the end. Gaining fame as one half of everyone's favorite biscuits and gravy of Mice and Men ripoff, Jesse and Festus. Oh yeah, and he was in the Straight Edge Society with CM Punk as Luke Gallows, Aces and Eights and TNA as Doc. The Bullet Club is Doc Gallows, they're revolutionary or something. And now you can catch him on Raw? Raw? I want to say it's Raw. As one half of the Good Brothers. Or the Club. So yeah, all's well that ends well. In all seriousness, I think the angle could have been interesting, but it was kinda doomed from the start. As on his first appearance, the quality of Kane's mane matched the quality of the overall storyline. His first impression was ruined immediately, and anything after that was just too late. It would be interesting to see this play out, but if the eventual payoff was that this was the real Kane, and to forget the last couple years in the real Kane's career, it wouldn't have been worth it, and a lot of people would have been pissed. Even if we, the fans, have wanted a Kane reboot, we still wanted Glenn Jacobs in the titular role. Overall, that was the tale of two Kanes. And that's why there will only ever really be one.
My name is Kane. I am a Rudy Poo candy ass.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. You're watching the Social Injustice Warrior V Infuso's channel, dude. So if you like the words that came out of his mouth hole, and you too want to become a V-tard, don't forget to like and subscribe, and click that little bell icon to get updates and notifications. Ooh, tell him what up, Mach. Ooh, yeah. Follow the man on Twitter, yeah, because we all know it's not stalking if it's on the internet, yeah. Join the madness by joining the Discord, and if you have a moment of time and a free $1 to spare, head over to the SIJW's Patreon, dig it, where you can request videos, get exclusive videos, and early access to content, yeah. Or go down to PayPal, where you can buy the shirts, brother. But most importantly, just remember, if you're not tuning in, then you're missing out.